My name is. Hi. My name is. My name is.
Johnny
My
Radio
name is.
himself, John Harden.
Hi. My name is. My name is. My name is.
Yo, 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 yo. Welcome into a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy, Johnny Radio. Happy Thirsty Thursday, everybody. Man, I love me a little Thirsty Thursday. Because you know what Thursday means? Not only are we all thirsty and we're going to hit up a little Tito's, run to Buster's Butcher, run to Buster's Liquor Store, get our life right because we got football tonight. Patriots at the Jets. 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 I can't stand that team. They killed me last week. When I was in Nashville. It's not like the Titans were all that good. Will Levis is just absolutely pathetic. But, man, you got the Patriots. You got the Jets tonight. Crazy thing is I think this line, both the numbers have me really confused. So we're going to do a little bit of work today. We're going to do a little talking, and we're going to have to talk ourselves into this one. I don't think this is going to be a large play unless it's in line. Right now, Jets, the number I have seen it rotate from 6 to 7 and to 6.5 and back and forth. The total has been sitting pretty solid at 38.5 all week, but that is a extremely, extremely low number. So I'm going to tell you right now, peeps, we got to think about if they putting it that low. That's like the Giants-Browns total is 38.5. The only one that I saw that was under that I remember off the top of my head was Packers and the Titans, I believe. And I think that was just 36 or 37.5. But, man, it is a low number. Now, you have to think about this. Patriots, 29th in pace of play, so they play slow. The Jets, I don't know if you know this, they haven't really just been blowing you away. Aaron Rodgers is still looking like a shell of himself, not quite, himself in 2 games, 343 yards, 3 touchdowns, and an interception. Not saying he's been terrible by any means. They got a big win that they needed last week. 1-1 on the season, playing the Patriots, who are also 1-1 on the season. Big AFC East battle right now going down. But you better have Prime Video because you got to watch it, and it is on Prime Video. Patriots, so far this season, taking care of the business that they need to. Got a shocking win, which I still can't believe they beat the Bengals in Cincinnati week 1. That defensive performance was extremely impressive. They won 16-10. Again, Ramondre Stevenson can absolutely run the deadgum ball. Brissett, he's been good enough. He's also mobile with his legs. So, if you're running the ball straight down their throat and you finally do drop back to throw the ball, that pass rush for the Jets probably should be, a little bit – he should have a little bit better time with it because of just the way his feet are. And then you look at over the fact what happened last weekend. They were at home against the deadgum Seahawks who, not bad, pretty good. I mean, Geno, it seems like every week's dropping 300 on somebody's face and throwing a touchdown. But no, he's only got, I think, 1 touchdown this year. But I don't know. I feel like that Seattle team is a good football team. They won 23-20. So they beat the Bengals by 6. They lost by 3 to the Seahawks. And you're giving me 6 points for the Jets. That's the only thing that gives, I have a pause. I'm like, damn. Why is that line the way it is? I don't know, man. Sorry, we're going to talk about it this week. This show all day long. We also have Isaac Simpson, who's going to join us today at 11:30. We got to talk about Memphis in the Pac, too. The American, reasons to go, reasons to stay, reasons to leave, risk versus reward, etc. We're getting back on that today. We're also going to talk about some Tiger basketball news. The Grizzlies. Happy birthday, Brandon Clark. I saw that on the X. 28 years old. Man, to be 28. Rich and in the NBA. My goodness, BC. I hope you celebrate your birthday the right way. Also, some other Grizzlies news. They announced their partnership with Robinhood. Robinhood is an app that makes financial service companies and offers investing and blah, 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 and all kinds of Robinhood stuff. Robinhood. And they're going to have that little patch on their jersey. I kind of like Robinhood. Like, if you didn't know he was an app, you'd be like, that's dope. Memphis, Robinhood. I like that. We'll talk a little bit about what the Memphis football team has got to do with Isaac Simpson. And then the thing we have to bring up that is also going to annoy my buddy Brian Dacus. I got to bring up something that I saw on ESPN Bet show or whatever with the dude who's giving out mustache rides, Joe Fortenbory or whatever. You know what I'm talking about?
Unfortunately, John, that show comes on during sports time, and so I never get to watch it.
Well, dadgummit, you know what?
When Jay Morgan was here, he would watch it during the show and write down all the bets so we could bet them. And now that he's gone, we can't do that.
Well, I record it because I record a bunch of stuff
see.
because when I watch and consume my sports, I hate doing it sometimes live. I'm talking about live sports. I watch the lives, but the shows.
You don't like commercials.
I'm not good with them. So when I can fast forward them junts. The only commercials that I love are the ones that we do on the air that are just absolutely wonderful right here at Sports 56. Golly, I love those ones. I also like the funny ones, bro. Like, there's some really funny, like
Dr. Pepper commercials.
Well, that Verbo commercial that I saw, and I can't remember much about it, with Nick Saban.
That's a good one. He's a grouchy old man that owns a house
that was really
he's renting out a
funny.
room.
Yeah, I like that one. I thought that one was absolutely hilarious. So, yeah, I'm a little bit fired up. Oh, my goodness gracious. Now, we also at 11:18 are going to talk with Braden. He's, okay, so, you know, I'm always trying to get gambling advice from anybody. I got two degenerates from Team Money Uncle Brasky. You know, they're on Friday, 12:30. They're awesome. I got Lee Sterling, ParamountSports.com. I think he's actually the best in the business, period. We talk with everybody and their grandmother from Jake Crane, who's always dropping bets over there at Crane & Company. Now we're going to get a young man's perspective. Braden is 14 years old, starting life the right way. You know what I mean? Starting with a little bit of action. We're going to talk about that, but I also have to tell you again about Dyers, because my man Braden loves Dyers. His dad owns that joint. It's out in Collierville's historic town square. If you like the smash burger, they did the original in 1912 and still doing it today. They got split dogs like the Chicago or the New York dog. They got grilled chicken sandwiches, fresh made salads, Delta raised catfish. It's Lake's Delta raised catfish, Pasquale's tamales, and customer favorite hand breaded onion rings. Dyers. Not Dyers County. Dyers Burger. Dyers Cafe. Serving world famous burgers, dogs, and shakes in Collierville's historic town square. Now, this is the bad news for you. Joe Fortenbory. He said, and I actually looked at it and I listened to him very, very, very serious. And man, let me tell you something. He can sell pretty good. Like, to go on national TV with that mustache, bro, to be able to still sell some of those rides, like, that's impressive. But he made a point. He said Cowboys right now to miss the playoffs is plus 150. And I know that probably hurts your little heart right over there, doesn't it, Mr. Dacus?
Nah, I mean, it's a good bet.
I have to say, they're going to lose this week against a desperate Ravens team, don't you think?
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. I'm just saying I think so. I'm not 100%. I'll be happy if the Ravens lose. You know what I mean? That's my biggest bet, under 10.5 wins for the season. I've said this over and over again. Right now, the Ravens are 0-2. But Dallas's defense can't stop anybody. The Saints ran right through them. I just feel like the Ravens are going to get back on track. Lamar's got to start looking like, the MVP that he was. And I just feel like, that offensive line was been really shaky the first 2 weeks. Other than Micah Parsons, that Dallas defense has got so many damn holes in it, it's not even funny. So I love the fact that I think they're going to be 1-2. And then what happens with the Dallas Cowboys team when they're 1-2? Man, you already heard Micah Parsons this week on his own show complaining, talking about how the rest of the players just don't want it as much as him. Did you see that, Mr. Dacus?
No, I missed that.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know about you right now, but finger pointing after 2 games is a pretty tough. And Micah, man, bro, if you were really about it, why are you doing a podcast? Get in there in the film room with them guys, motivate them. I know Micah wants to get paid, so he doesn't want a lot of holes in that defense. He wants to be able to get sacks and get paid. Dak got paid. CD got paid. Everybody's talking about Micah Parsons getting paid. He ain't got paid yet. So you know he wants that, and that's probably frustrating for him right now. Already a little problem on defense. Again, they gave up 44 points to the Saints last week. And a Browns team that looked so bad in the first week, they held them to 17, but damn, the offense was good. The Ravens this week. After that, you have the Giants, which is a win, 100% win. So I think they're going to be 2-2 after 4 weeks. But then you go on the road to Pittsburgh. I know that offense isn't impressive, but the Mike Tomlin job that he does with defense, special teams, and just enough on offense, kicking a hell of a ton of field goals, you can win still playing defense in 2024. Pittsburgh Steelers have proven it. It's a tough place to go. Steelers, Cowboys on the road. I mean, I'm telling you right now, that is exciting for me at least. Then they have the Lions. Now, the Lions did not look good against Tampa Bay's Baker Mayfield, but Tampa's 2-0, man. And heck, the NFC South right now, Falcons are 1-1. They're pretty good. You saw Bijan running. Kirk Cousins is looking a little bit better each week. Threw the football down the field thanks to an idiot Nick Sirianni who doesn't know how to run the football with Saquon Barkley. But hey, they still got a dub. Now Carolina's trash, but the Saints and the Bucks both 2-0. Baker's playing really, really good. I'm just saying, when the NFC South get good, but the Lions over in the NFC North, Bears are absolutely terrible. Don't know what the Packers really are, or the Vikings, still confused. But that Lions team, I still believe in Dan Campbell. I still believe in Jared Goff. They've got weapons out the wazoo, the defensive back. They brought back their OC. They brought back their DC. They're going to be fine. They're going to lose to the Lions. They're going to lose on the road to the 49ers because they always lose to the 49ers. I think going onto the road and playing the Dirty Birds in Atlanta is going to be a tough game. And then you got to play the other birds, the Eagles at your crib. I feel like these are tough. Then you have the Texans. Let's be real. C.J. Stroud, Tank Dell, Nico Collins, Diggs, Joe Mixon. That Houston squad's legit. C.J. Stroud is the truth. And then the tough games the rest of the season, you got Bengals, Bucks, Eagles. NFC is a little bit, I don't know, man. Does that feel like a crazy bet, or am I just piling on because it's fun?
I think you're just piling on because it's fun.
Hey, man, Joe said it, the dude who's giving out the mustache ride.
Joe's wrong. How about that?
You think Joe's wrong?
Yes.
I don't know if I agree with you. I don't know if I agree with you. Do you have, when you look at the NFL schedule this week, because again, we're going to talk also college football. I think the slate's going to be absolutely awesome. Tennessee's going to beat the brakes off of Oklahoma. I'm fired up. The NFL has been so unkind to me this year that I got to look at it just because I'm scared of it. Like, I really have struggled in the NFL. I think everybody last week had a pretty rough one. But I kind of do feel good about one game early, and I think it's the Buccaneers against the Broncos. The Broncos, let's be real right now. Sean Payton, his verbiage is so long. Have you ever seen him, the way he calls plays? You've heard about notoriously how long his play calling is. I'm telling you right now, my man Bo Nix, who's seeing totally different defenses, actually real defenses, scheming against them and trying to stop him, just these very vanilla teams out there just not showing anything but base. He is struggling because he's struggling just to get the play in. He's thinking. He's not, he doesn't just know the playbook like the back of his hand. He's struggling to make the calls. He is a young quarterback who is struggling. If you look at all the young quarterbacks right now, Caleb Williams is struggling. It is a hard road to hoe in the National Football League, especially for young quarterbacks. On the other side, Baker Mayfield is just trying to prove everybody and their grandmother wrong. My man's got 5 touchdowns through 2 games. Do you realize that? Mm-hmm. Almost 500 yards. They're going to be at home. They're 2-0. And the Broncos have shown no ability to score on anyone all season. Again, that great Steelers team held them to 6 points last week with that defense. Seattle beat them by a touchdown in week 1. I like the Tampa Bay at home laying the 6 because one thing that Tampa Bay defense is opportunistic. They take the ball away. They bend but don't break. And Baker Mayfield's making throws all over the yard. That's the one that just because I need a favorite to cover. But as many underdogs came in last week, there's going to be a favorite that covers. That's what makes me kind of scared about tonight's game, the fact that it's 6.5. When I feel like the Patriots and the Jets, I mean, the total set at 38. Neither team's probably going to score 20 points, man. More than 21, that's for sure. Or at least that's what I think. How are you going to lay 6 or 7? I'm telling you right now, if somehow the Jets don't cover the total and another dog comes in tonight with the Patriots, I'm definitely going to pound Tampa Bay. At home, minus a touchdown. Now, we got to talk with my good buddy Braden. Again, Isaac Simpson's coming on. This is my little homie. But first, here's a word about Dyers. When you're hungry for the delicious smash burger flavor, Dyer's Cafe, the original smash burger since 1912, and still smashing burgers in Collierville's historic town square. Come out there for lunch specials Monday through Friday, 11 to 2. Ask about their world-famous split dogs and authentic Chicago or New York dog. Try the leaner side of Dyer's with their grilled chicken sandwich or freshly made salads. Also, they're serving Lakes Delta raised catfish, Pasquale's tamales, and customer favorites like their hand-breaded onion rings. Dyer's, serving world-famous burgers, dogs, and shakes in Collierville's historic town square. Where Braden, how's life treating you?
Good. School's going good. Got football in a minute.
Got football in a minute. It is that time of the year, man. Fall is here, and we got football, and I got a lot of fear because I got smoked last week in the NFL. Who are we betting on this week, Braden?
So I got Navy and Memphis.
Navy and Memphis.
Then Tennessee and Oklahoma.
Ooh, all right.
And then Cowboys and Ravens.
A bunch of tough games, man. Memphis looked really good against FSU last week. They got that big dub. Who do you have? Memphis versus the Naval Academy.
So I got Memphis. Stetson against a experienced quarterback. We got to stop Navy's run game, though. If we could do that, we're going to be fine.
The way they stopped Florida State's run game and DJ Uiagalelei, it just makes me feel really good. I think the Tigers roll. Now, you also had another college football game. Who was that? Oklahoma and Tennessee?
Mm-hmm.
Who you got?
I did. I got Oklahoma, actually. I think it's
goodness.
at Oklahoma. Tennessee hasn't played a strong team yet, so we'll find out this weekend. Oklahoma's going to win by 7.
All right, well, Oklahoma, you have actually winning the game. Tennessee is a 7-point favorite over Boomer Sooner. I will remind you, the last national championship that OU got, their 7th national championship in the year 2000, they were quarterbacked by Josh Heupel, the coach for Tennessee. And don't forget, Josh Heupel got fired in 2014 from OU. I feel like he exacts revenge. Braden, this is where me and you are betting a burger on this game. Deal?
Deal. That's a deal.
All right, I got Tennessee. You got Boomer Sooner. And in the National Football League, you're talking about the Ravens and the Cowboys?
I am.
0-3 Ravens right now. 0-2 Ravens. But, man, are they actually going to fall to 0-3? Or are the Cowboys going to wake up after getting slapped by New Orleans Saints? Alvin Kamara is still running roughshod on that team. Right now, Micah Parsons is still having nightmares.
Yep. Alvin Kamara killed me in fantasy this week. That's why I lost one game this week. But I got Cowboys, though. I think they're going to get the running game down. Lamar Jackson, he's not going to run the ball versus us, and then we got some good DBs that can, if he throw it, we can pick it off for sure.
So we're taking the Cowboys?
We are.
Dude, I hope you're 100% right, because I don't know if you know this. My biggest bet of the year so far has been under 10.5 on the Baltimore Ravens total wins. If they start the season 0-3, I'm dancing in the streets. Currently, right now, the Ravens are 1.5-point favorite. I'm going with Braden. I'm backing the Cowboys. Man, do me a favor. Tell everybody what's your favorite food over at Dyer's.
A cheeseburger, a fries, and a milkshake.
Tell your family what's up. Be blessed. Enjoy your football. And we'll do it again next Thursday, homie. Do you love the smash burger? I know I do. If you want that smash burger flavor, they're the original gangster since 1912. Head over there. They're still smashing burgers in Collierville's historic town square. They also have Pasquale's tamales, Lakes Delta raised catfish, and customer favorites, and my personal favorite, those hand-breaded onion rings. Dyer's, serving world-famous burgers, dogs, and shakes in Collierville's historic town square. Back in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Be sure to follow us at Sports 56 WHBQ Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube to watch live video of our shows, stay up to date with station events, and have chances to win prizes. Don't miss out on anything that's going on. Follow us at Sports 56 WHBQ.
Guns, and more guns. Over 700 firearms in stock. Home defense guns, old guns, new guns, used guns, big guns, little guns. Every gun you can think of, Classic Arms has them. All brands like Glock, Sig, Colt, Ruger, Smith & Wesson, Browning, Beretta, Benelli, Remington, Winchester, and more. Guaranteed lowest prices in town. Only gun importer in the Mid-South. Free gun inspections and appraisals and free bore sighting for the upcoming deer season. Shop online at ClassicArmsOfMemphis.com or visit Classic Arms at 1740 Germantown Parkway behind Quicky's Barbecue in Cordova.
Check this out, Randy. New 2023 Dodge Charger SXT. $27,499, over $10,000 off MSRP.
Ronnie, what about Renegade?
New 2023 Jeep Renegade. $27,499 or $319 a month.
Hey, Ronnie, tell them about that deal on Gladiator.
2024 Jeep Gladiator. Over $7,000 off and 0% for 36 months available.
Don't forget about that Ram truck deal.
2025 Ram Tradesman. Over $6,000 off MSRP.
Rocket Rise, let's try it. Mr. Wrestling, come to the best and gossip. Clutch for Jeep out to empty out on the bike. Online at gossipmotorcars.net.
Hungry for that delicious smash burger flavor? Dyer's Cafe is the original smash burger since 1912 and still smashing burgers in Collier's historic town square. Come out for their lunch specials Monday through Friday, 11 to 2. Ask about their world-famous split dog and authentic Chicago or New York dog. Try the leaner side of Dyer's with a grilled chicken sandwich or freshly made salad. Also serving Lakes, Delta-raised catfish, Pasquale's tamales, and a customer favorite, hand-breaded onion rings. Dyer's, serving world-famous burgers, dogs, and shakes in Collier's historic town square.
Mayweather Boxing. This is a high-energy, full-body workout incorporating the same equipment and technology by Floyd Mayweather himself. The workout contains 4 types of heavy metals, treadmill, roll, paddle, weights, and more. Mayweather Boxing Fitness Coaching Center, North Downtown Parkway, Suite 109 in Cordova. 901-673-1226. Train like a champ at Mayweather Boxing Fitness. Rick's Powder Coating for a beautiful finish every time. Rick's Powder Coating specializes in automotive, ornamental, residential, and industrial coating. With 2 conveyor lines and the largest batch ovens in the Mid-South, Rick's can accommodate all of your powder coating needs. Locally owned and operated since 2002, Rick's Powder Coating will customize a beautiful finish just for you. Drop by or call to see how Rick's Powder Coating can bring color to your life. 901-367-2771 or rickspowdercoating.com.
To understand what makes Genesis Diamonds so different than other jewelry stores, you have to go back over 40 years to the diamond cutting capital of Tel Aviv, Israel. That's where Genesis owner Boaz Ramon grew up, in the center of the diamond universe. His connections with the best diamond cutters allowed him special access, giving rise to a thriving wholesale business here in the United States. Then, after a few years, this wholesaler changed the game and started selling these precious diamonds direct to the public at the same prices he had sold to the jewelry stores. The no middleman concept became an instant success. Today, Genesis Diamonds provides that extraordinary value to people right here in Middle Tennessee, leading the industry with the highest quality diamonds that still come straight from the best cutters, offered at the guaranteed best price of any jewelry store in America. Genesis Diamonds, a truly revolutionary concept with a unique history rooted in quality, committed to excellence, and always focused on value. Genesis Diamonds, luxury premium Rolexes, and popular importance extended.
Listen each and every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. and join Ottawa Presbyterian Church for worship. Ottawa is an ACUSA church located in town Memphis.
I'm with John Burgos from the world-famous Rendezvous in the Alley since 1948.
Brett, we have catered parties all over this country and all over the world, from Singapore, Australia to Central Park in New York. But many people don't realize how much we do locally. For holiday events, office parties, tailgating, birthday parties, you can't do better than the Rendezvous. For example, you can get a cheese and sausage tray for 15 to 300 people for $3.75 per person. You can even build your own nacho bar for $10.50 per person. All you need is a minimum of 15 people. In many cases, we can arrange delivery and full-service catering. We've even made it easy to get to-go items. You can just park at our front door in the alley, put on your flashes, and we'll get you going ASAP. For all your catering items and prices, go to hogsfly.com, click on menu, and drop down to catering.
Thank you, John. The Rendezvous, Mr. Charlie Burgos' Rendezvous, in the alley since 1948 and celebrating its 75th year.
Admit it. When you start thinking about tastes of Memphis, you think treats, sweets. You think Dinstall's. For 122 years now. What is that, 5 generations? When people wanted something to bring to a party that will just make everybody happy, they bring out Dinstall's. 122 years of cashew crunch, of heavenly hash, of turtlettes, of their award-winning fudge. That's worldwide. It's known that well. Then there's the milk chocolate. It all starts there. There's the double-dip peanuts. And then every fall, those famous chocolate-covered strawberries with that fondant. And they won't tell you what's in the fondant, but it makes it oh so special. And easy to get to. 5 locations. There's where they make the candies in Pleasant View. There's Germantown. There's Collierville. There's even one downtown and in my neck of the woods in Laurelwood. You know what? 122 years made in Memphis and enjoyed by the whole world. Dinstall's.
Do you know one of the best things you can do for your employees or family's health? Provide Arctic Clear bottled water. Arctic Clear bottled water is your locally owned and operated bottled water provider. Arctic Clear is 100% natural spring water with free delivery and setup, dependable service, and no long-term contracts. What an easy choice. Call Jeff Manus today, 901-382-2363, or visit arctic-clear.com. Arctic Clear bottled water. Call now, 382-2363. That's 382-2363.
Now back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio. This hour brought to you by Buster's Butcher at 199 South Highland, where every cut is the right cut. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. It is a Thirsty Thursday. We got a big game tonight. Patriots at the Jets. Of course, you can hear all the action starting at 7 o'clock right here on Sports 56, 98.5 FM. We are going to be tearing it up on a little bit of football today. We're going to talk some, Cowboys. They got a big one against the Ravens. My boy Isaac Simpson is a huge fan of the Cowboys. So is Brian Dacus. We also got to talk a little bit about some college football and what matchups are you excited for this weekend. Of course, OU and Tennessee is way up there for me. I'm kind of excited to see what Illinois and Nebraska look like. Both teams over in the Big Ten are 3-0 on the early season. My man Dylan Raiola looks really damn good. He also looks just like Patrick Mahomes. He has emulated his entire life like Patrick Mahomes. So Dylan and Nebraska trying to continue to go the right way. And that Dowdle kid, like Dante Dowdle, I believe. My man's got some wheels. He can absolutely scoot. Little running back over there. So it's going to be a good one. I don't know really. I haven't paid much attention to the Fighting Illini. Didn't really expect, too much out of them. But they beat Kansas 23-17 earlier. They whipped up on Central Michigan, and then they played a patsy in the first week, I think Eastern Illinois, and they blew them out the water. But that's going to be one of the better games. That's Friday night. But on Saturday, NC State Clemson, I don't know what I think about NC State at all. Don't know if I really believe in anybody in the ACC right now in football other than Miami. And I don't know if I believe in actually Miami. But the Clemson-NC State game, Clemson's a 20-point favorite. I mean, the NC State was supposed to be that Cinderella this year, possibly in the ACC, and they're absolutely terrible. That's one that just absolutely shocked me. I thought little Grayson McCall was going to have a great little year at NC State. Thought they were going to be able to put up some points. You saw what Tennessee did. They just absolutely blew them out the water. They're going to blow OU out the water. I'm looking forward to that one. But the USC-Michigan game is really interesting. USC is a 5.5-point favorite on the road at the Big House in Ann Arbor. And I got to say, man, Mason Moss Miller Moss. Is it Mason or Miller?
Miller.
See, if I was more of a Miller drinker, like I would remember that one.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just not a big Miller drinker. Miller Moss, though, he's a trip. He's an absolute trip. He's the dude who kind of took a lot of flack after week one for taking his roommate's stuff and being very, very, very childish. But, man, we got to also remember in week one, Garrett Nussmeier and Miller Moss went toe-to-toe, LSU, USC. Miller Moss came out on top. They just played Utah State last week. That's nobody. Now they get another test. This is their first, on the road, real, not hey, playing in Vegas, that was a very pro LSU crowd, but it's not the Big House. This is going to be USC in the Big House. This is the new Big Ten. In September, I kind of dig this. And again, Miller Moss has made you kind of forget about Caleb Williams. And Caleb Williams' personality is going to continue to cause him problems. Did you see the way he kind of reacted to C.J. Stroud after he came up there with words of encouragement?
Mm-hmm.
Every time I see C.J. Stroud, by the way, I like him more and more and more. Every time I see him, I like C.J. Stroud more. One, I think he's a great football player, but he's a good dude. He talked about, even in the press conference, they were asking him about him talking to Caleb Williams. And you know what he started telling him? Man, there were a lot of people supportive of me in my rookie year, and I just want to pay it forward. He always is, he's always putting out them positive vibes. I love that dude. But Miller Moss and Caleb, I forgot about Caleb Williams. I haven't forgot about him, but USC hadn't missed a beat. Lincoln Riley really can. You can say one thing about it. Dude continuously brings out great quarterbacks. How many can he have back-to-back? Now, defensively, we're going to have to see if I believe in him because I don't know how good LSU is. The Gamecocks game last week was absolutely freaky. And what are you looking at?
I was just looking at what you were looking at.
Isaac's back. Why
We
didn't
had
you tell
him.
me?
You saw me answer you saw me talking to him on the phone.
Oh, I don't know if you know this. I thought it was just a caller. Usually you might put your finger up in the air and say,
Well, we
up?
made eye contact, so I thought you knew that I knew that you knew that.
Oh, I don't
Isaac
read
was there.
minds with
Good
dudes,
Lord.
bro. If I lock eyes with a woman, I promise you I know what we're both thinking. If I lock eyes with you, I have no idea. Isaac, sorry about that. I was talking a little college football. What's up, big homie?
Man, what's going on, man? I'm good, John. How are you?
How was Big D?
Man, it was good, man. Ate some great food, man. They got some good food down there in Dallas, man. I must say that, man. So really enjoyed it. Got to see my New York Liberty 2 game. They were playing the Dallas Wings back-to-back, man. 2 blowout victories to New York. So, man, successful trip.
Man, and I also got to ask you, since you brought up a little WNBA action, they're expanding, is from what I understand from you, right?
Yeah, they've already announced they're getting a team in the Bay Area, the Valkyries. That's going to be a new team. Toronto's got a franchise. Portland just got announced, and they're looking to do one more by 2026. So
Any
they need
chance
it, man, because
Nashville?
they don't have enough spots for the talent that's out there. It's really a roster across. You're not even guaranteed a spot in the WNBA if you get drafted in the first round. It's a 12-team league, so they definitely need expansion, man, because it's been a problem trying to find enough roster spots for all the talent that's out there.
That's kind of wild, man. Do you think Nashville's got a chance?
Yeah, they're on the list. I think Nashville, South Florida, I think Denver, and one other place. I can't remember what the other city is that they were looking at. Those are kind of names that have been thrown around. I think Nashville is probably more locked in on trying to get a baseball team. Well, maybe my White Sox end up moving to Nashville. That's been something that's been out there. So I wouldn't mind it at all, man. But it'd be a lot easier to catch them. Hopefully they're winning some games by then, man. I don't even want to talk about their 117, 118 loss team right now. So
it's pretty tough, isn't it? I know it's tough. Now I do have to do this, and I'm not trying to put any pain on you today, but I really do need to know what you think about your Cowboys. They have a tough game at home against the Ravens. Ravens are 0-2 on the season so far. Cowboys, looked great in week 1 against the Browns, looked absolutely like a disaster against the Saints. What do you think you're going to see against the Ravens?
It's definitely going to be an interesting game, man. I think because you have two desperate teams coming in there. I mean, the Ravens really going to go 0-3. I mean, that's a team coming into the season that I looked at and I was like, man, this might be their year. I think this team has a real good chance of possibly winning it all this year, man. You go 0-3, you're starting to think, man, are we even going to make the playoffs? So they're going to come in desperate. The Cowboys, despite their struggles, inconsistencies with over the years, not being able to have that consistency, they don't lose a lot of games at home. I can't even remember the last time they've lost back-to-back games at home. Like, even when they struggle, that's just something that they don't do. They don't lose a lot at Jerry's World, so that's kind of on the line there as well. I mean, I feel like the Cowboys win this game, and that's crazy because it's just hard for me to see the Ravens going 0-3. I just feel like Michael Parsons kind of talking about that defense, and boy, man, them, I don't know what. I mean, you can see him doing at the press conferences throughout this week, man. Looks like he's not getting any sleep. I don't know what happened. It was very reminiscent of that game against the Packers in the playoffs last year, just giving up these big chunk 50, 60-yard touchdowns, just guys going in untouched. I don't know what the game plan was, but whatever they did last week, man, they need to scrap all of that, man, and give a completely different plan coming up this week. But I feel like they find a way to win this game. They don't lose a lot of games at home. It's hard for me to see the Ravens go 0-3, but I feel like the Cowboys win the game. I think the Ravens are 1-point favorite, actually.
Yep,
you don't see the Cowboys being an underdog at home either much. But you got two desperate teams coming in there. But the Ravens, man, I watched them. I don't know what their deal is, man. They just don't look good. I don't know. They have the talent. It's not coming together so far. So this is a massive game because you go 0-3, man. If you're the Ravens, that's not good. And the Cowboys don't want to fall to 1-2 and lose back-to-back games at home either. So the defense is supposed to be one of the best in the league, but that wasn't the case last week, man. So hopefully they can find a way to put it together. But I just have a feeling they find a way to win, man. And Ravens, they go 0-3. They're really going to be searching going into week 4.
Man, you ain't lying. And again, it doesn't get any easier for the Ravens because then they have the Bills, the Bengals, and the Bucks.
Yeah, that is rough, man.
And there was a Commander game in there squeezed in. I forgot between the Bengals and the Bucks. I just saw that. I put up their schedule. So yeah, they got Bills, Bengals, Commanders, and Bucks. Their next 4 after they play the Cowboys. I have the Ravens under 10.5 bet. 10.5 wins for the season because again, the offensive line is they replaced 3 studs with 2 backups and a draft pick. That made me
you did tell me that week 1 when I was pumping up the Ravens. You was like, man, that offensive line might be a question, and it has been. So.
And that's their identity. Run the football, and that just kind of they were number 1 team rushing the football last year. Defense has been on the field a little bit much. You give up 26 points to the Raiders. I get giving up 27 points to the Chiefs. They look better against the Chiefs than they did against the Ravens.
Yeah, they did.
They really did. And then they got to ask you though about the Cowboys though, because I really don't know where the Ravens are, and then I'm kind of so confused on the Cowboys. Is it just New Orleans who's dropped 91 points early in this season? Are they just clicking on all cylinders with Clint Kubiak, the new offensive coordinator, and they're just going to be a baller team all season long? Or is this just kind of an anomaly? Like, how good are the Cowboys right now?
But as far as the Saints, man, I'm not sure. I don't know if that was more about us or is that team really, really good. I mean, they take on the Eagles this week, so that's going to be interesting. If they beat the Eagles, I think we have to start taking that Saints team seriously. Like coming into that game Sunday, man, I wasn't taking them seriously at all. I thought the Cowboys would roll in that game. That definitely wasn't what I was expecting. They came out, man, with that first touchdown. I was like, man, whoa, what is going on here? And they just continued to snowball and never really got any better, man. That team offensively looked like a juggernaut, and maybe they are really good. I think we'll find out a lot more against Philly this week. But as far as Dallas is concerned, I mean, it's kind of the same thing. I mean, look really good against the Browns, but maybe that was just the Browns. Maybe that offensive line being so bad, them not being able to block, and defense really getting after Deshaun Watson. Maybe that was just more about the Browns, and maybe the Cowboys really aren't that good. So I think we're going to find out a lot more about both of those teams this week as far as the Cowboys, because their defense is supposed to be good. I mean, that's the thing about it is, but that wasn't the case, man. You give up that many points, man, to a team, man, at home, man. They just come in and just blast you. And it was just kind of how they did it, not so much even the amount of points they gave up. It was just how the ease that they were able to score with. I mean, you have a Kamara looking like 5 or 6 years ago. Alvin Kamara, man, he just had a throwback game. What, he had 4 touchdowns in that game?
Yeah, bro,
He's
just
insane,
absolutely
man.
tearing it up.
Shout out to whoever had him in fantasy, man, because you had a big day with him unexpectedly on Sunday, man. But yeah, man, it's definitely going to be an interesting game, man. 0-3 Ravens, 1-2 Cowboys. I mean 0-2 Ravens, 1-2 Cowboys. 1-1 Cowboys. I don't think anybody thought that was going to be what we were going to be seeing going into Week 3. So that's going to be a big game for both teams, man. If you lose that game, especially for the Ravens, man, go 0-3, that's kind of tough to come back from. I mean, I think they have the talent, but you just don't want to follow 0-3, man. You look at the stats on that as far as the team going 0-3 once they make the playoffs. I'm sure it's probably pretty low.
All right, Isaac, I need you to do me a favor. We're going to take a break, do a little bit of timeout, but I need you to put your lawyer hat on. Convince me, should we go to the Pac-12 or stay in the American and hold out for something different? We're talking with Isaac Simpson. Of course, check him out with Ethos Grizzlies, TigerSportsReport.com. Follow him on Twitter at Isaac__NBA. Back into Shake Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Hey everybody, it's Chevy truck season, and together let's drive to All-Star Chevrolet in Olive Branch, where all the Chevy trucks are. Every new Silverado you're looking for, it's here, so come on down and drive a few. Financing as low as 1.9 and no payments for 90 days. Yes, that's 0 payments for 90 days, and your good credit deserves it. And just in time for tailgating season at the next game, All-Star Chevy has the best tailgating Tahoes. If you're in law enforcement, first responder, healthcare, military, education, recent grad, you get a $500 bonus. Come check out this huge, and I'm talking huge, pre-owned selection. Jeeps, Fords, Nissans, Toyotas, cargo vans, a ton of pre-owned Silverados. And if you got any vehicle you want to sell, bring it here to All-Star Chevy in Olive Branch and get the most money for it today. So don't miss this Chevy truck season sale going on right now in Olive Branch at All-Star Chevy, or check out allstarautogroup.com.
We're in the break room at a traditional jewelry store here. Hey, Mark, I know it's our job here to try and sell every piece of jewelry, but don't sell this ring. I'm going to try to use my employee discount to buy it for my wife.
Okay, but you know you can get a better deal at Genesis Diamonds.
Genesis Diamonds? Are you crazy?
They're not like the boss here. All I'm saying is I got a pair of diamond set earrings there for my wife and paid a lot less than what we charge here, even after my employee discount.
Wow.
You never know who you'll see shopping at Genesis Diamonds. With no middleman pricing on the best selection of diamond rings, earrings, pendants, bands, and bracelets, it's a no-brainer.
I admire your dedication to our jewelry store and not going to Genesis. I know the boss really appreciates your loyalty.
It's just the right thing to do, man.
And it's nice your wife won't mind getting a smaller diamond.
On second thought, can you cover me while I take a break? Genesis Diamonds, the smart alternative to old-fashioned jewelry shopping. With more selection, lower prices, higher quality, stronger warranties, and zero pressure. At Poplar and Perkins Extended.
You're a contractor and you need concrete coating and supplies in Memphis fast, and you get this answer? I think we can order that stuff, but you're going to have to wait a few days for delivery. Why wait? Get your concrete coatings and supplies now at TSS Supply, where everything you need is in stock. If you're working in the tri-state, Tennessee, Arkansas, Mississippi area, everything you need for concrete coating is at TSS Supply, 5665 East Rains Road, Memphis. TSS Supply specializes only in concrete coatings and supplies all in one place. If you're looking for a particular item, need large quantities, or just have general questions, call 901-729-0565, 729-0565, or you can email your question to Brad at tsssupply.com. The friendly, knowledgeable folks at TSS Supply have over 150 years combined experience in concrete coatings, materials, and supplies. Come by and visit TSS Supply Friday, September 27th. Sports 56 will be broadcasting live from 7 to 10 a.m. with Greg and Eli, and then John Harden from 11 to 1. Sports 56 will have free giveaways plus breakfast and lunch during the live broadcast. TSS Supply, 5665 East Rains Road.
Wants your house slash your office building? Possible! Not. Call Wilson's Pro Wash. Your house, fence, driveway, warehouse, store, hotel, even cars and trucks can all be squeaky clean and beautiful after pressure washing by Wilson's Pro Wash. Wilson's specializes in cleaning all hard surfaces, concrete, stone, brick, and mortar, even wood and vinyl siding. Then Wilson's can seal their surfaces so they stay looking brand new. Call Wilson's Pro Wash. 1-524-6799 or online at wilsonsprowash.com. If you love sports, and Mexican food, you can get the best of both at Los Cabos Mexican Bar and Grill on Summer near Graham. Watch all the big games on all the big TVs on all the walls at Los Cabos. And enjoy premium tequila shots anytime for just $5.50. Celebrate every day with lunch specials from 10 to 3 and happy hour from 3 to 8. Lunch is just $6.75 to $10.99 and margaritas start at $4.99. Experience real Mexican cuisine along with great sports at Los Cabos on Summer near Graham.
I'm Gary York. I'm the service director at Lexus in Memphis. Our service department wants to be more than just a place where you get your oil changed. We do glass repair, windshield replacement, recalibration of your camera and sonar systems, even wheel repair, tire replacement, all the things you would expect from a luxury automotive dealer. Please check out our website. You can schedule your appointment, check out our specials, hours of operation, or if you'd like to do it in person, please reach out to one of our associates at 901-271-5199.
Now back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio. This hour brought to you by Buster's Butcher at 199 South Highland, where every cut is the right cut. Here once again is Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. I'm hanging out with my good buddy Isaac Simpson. We've been talking a lot of NFL football, Cowboys. One thing we hadn't mentioned is Memphis Tigers. Dude, FSU. Isaac, can you still believe what you saw last Saturday?
A tremendous victory for this program, man. Even with FSU being down, I mean, it's still ACC team. You're on the road. It's Mike Norvell versus Ryan Silverfield.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure Mike Norvell was kicking himself thinking back to when he signed that contract, because I'm sure he had no idea this would be the situation he'd find himself in when that thing got kicked off. But just a tremendous victory for this team, man. 3-0 and just really in position to compete for that G5 spot, man, in college football playoff. I think, I was a little bit worried early. Looked like that Florida State defensive front was going to be a problem for this offensive line. They were really getting big pressure on Ryan Silverfield. But shout out to that Memphis O-line, man. They settled in, was really able to really dominate late in that game, I think, on both sides of the football, both lines, the Memphis defensive line and our offensive line. And that's even when a Power 5 team is not really good and they take on a team outside of the Power 5, usually in the trenches is where they have the advantage, and that wasn't the case at all. And I think that would be the biggest worry I'd have if I was Mike Norvell, that they can't even beat a non-Power 5 team in the trenches. That's a big-time issue, man. That football team has some major issues, and I don't even know if they beat Cal this week. So I think if I had to bet on that game, I think I would take Cal outright. I think Florida State might be a 3-point favorite. I want to say last time I checked, but I think I would probably go with Cal in that game. I think Norvell has big problems down there. The money aspect probably saves his job for now, man, but I don't know, man. If they keep losing games, like you look at that schedule, man, I don't see a whole lot of wins on that schedule for them, and that's just going to be hard to swallow for those fans down there at Florida State, man. They're not used to losing at that rate, and I think they got a lot of losses coming.
Man, it's so sad, like, when you think about, like, where they were undefeated, and then they lose Jordan Travis, they get left out, they get
left out, yeah.
They got run out the bowl game. It was just, what was it, Georgia beat them like 63-3, I believe?
Yeah.
And then you open up the season, you're in Ireland, Georgia Tech punches you in the face, then Boston College and Bill O'Brien first year punches you right in the mouth, and then Memphis comes down and your former guy, dude, Ryan Silverfield, comes into their house and smokes them. I loved it. I hate it for Mike Norvell. Sorry, but, man, it's been kind of fun, and it has been crazy. And remember, Cal did get 4 picks against Peyton Thorne and Auburn, so that is a tough game to pick. FSU.
Yeah, DJ, he's not it, man. I don't. I think he needs to go ahead and make that change. He keeps rolling with him, man. But I think it's time to make that change, because I think you've seen enough to know he's not the guy. The backup might not be the guy either, but I think DJU's not the guy.
That's the truth. Now with Memphis, so right now, like, you look at the football and you're thinking dreams, college football playoffs, that non-Power 5 automatic qualifier, the highest ranked team in the non-Power 4 gets that automatic qualifier. That kind of leads me into the discussion. Right now, Memphis football is hot. Are you looking at the Pac-12 or are you staying in the American? I have gone back and forth. Yesterday, I got Johnny Cochran when I listened to Jason Munns. Of course, I've listened to a tweet with John Varlas. And then, I read a bunch of texts yesterday on the Sissy's Log Cabin text and listener line. And then I get back and forth in there because, I'm scared to, be stuck in the American. That if like Tulane and South Florida and UTSA leave and then we're stuck with Army, Navy, Air Force and a couple like bums, I'm going to be just sad. But I'm also like looking over at the Pac and feel like it's so much. It's a step above. But do you aspire to be just in the best non-Power 4 conference, or do you want to try to get in the ACC, Big 12? Help me out, bro.
Shout out to my guy Munns. He is not on the Pac-12 train at all. But
no, he's not.
It's a no-brainer to me, man. I think you have to do it for the reason that you just mentioned. How long have we been waiting for that proverbial magic life raft to come? And you just don't know if it's coming. I get holding out for the ACC. And the thing about the ACC is, I know that there's been some talk about Florida State, Clemson, maybe them coming to some kind of agreement, them staying in. I don't know if I buy that. I think the ACC is going to end up falling apart. And I think if you do end up getting the ACC, I think it could be eerily similar to the Big East AAC situation, to where you end up in the ACC, but it's a watered down version of the ACC with the bad, not the good teams left over and mixed in with some AAC teams, and you're kind of in the same situation you are now. I feel like, man, you got to make that jump. I get the negatives. The travel is crazy. I mean, think about Memphis and having to travel to play all those West Coast teams. That doesn't seem like it makes a lot of sense.
Will be a hell of flight. You know what I'm saying? But I love, Tigers versus Beavers. I'm in.
But yeah, man, I think I'm ready to play some different teams, man. I'm ready to see some teams outside of these teams that we see in the AAC. And I think one thing I think in the future, I think you're going to end up seeing probably an ACC Pac-12 merger anyway. So I think that's probably where we're headed. So I think if you have an opportunity to get in on the front end, you're going to be already there. You don't have to worry about whether you're going to get in on that or not. You're already into that situation. I think long term, it's gonna make a lot of sense. I know people look at it right now thinking, oh, it's just a small step up, but I think eventually it's going to be a much bigger step up in the years to come. And I'm definitely afraid of, like you said, ending up in the AAC with no Tulane, none of some of those teams leaving, going other places, and you just kind of stuck in there by yourself in a situation that's even worse now. We've dealt with that before, man. I just don't want to be in that situation. So I think the Pac-12, even in the state that it is now, it's a step up. I think it gives you more value as far as the way people view you, and I think it's just the right move. I think if you can make that move, I think you make it, and I don't even question it. It'll be interesting to see. I think they probably hired Ed Scott to probably get into the ACC. I think that was probably kind of one of the reasons why they hired him coming over from Virginia. I think that was probably one of some of their thinking. But I mean, I think if you had this opportunity, which sounds like from everything you heard, the Pac-12 is really excited about the prospect of adding them. I think if I'm in that position and they do offer, I think I'm taking it. I know you got to figure out what the money is and what that situation is, but outside of that, man, it's a no-brainer in my opinion.
You know, the Pac should have a ton of money from everybody who had to pay the exit fees to leave the joint, and it dissolved. I know it's the Pac too, but like if Memphis does leave the American, and you know they're the Americans trying to, you know, like I can see the Pac coming there and also helping that out financially.
Yeah, from what I've heard, that they are willing to help the Memphis and Tulane with exit fees when it comes to that. So man, and that even makes it even more of a situation where I think, man, you gotta take that leap, man. I understand that it's nervous, man. You think maybe the Big 12 comes calling, maybe the ACC stays together, or when they break off at Florida State and Clemson do leave, that you could get added. But it scares me to wait for that, man, and end up being in a worse situation. So I think with this situation here, I mean, there's some questions I think that you got to ask on the front end of the Pac, and kind of what direction they're looking at as far as some certain things, the money, television, and all that. But again, man, if I'm offered, man, I'm taking it.
Oh man, this has been just so tough because you know me, anytime somebody does like a relationship tweet or something, or is comparing or grading or something, and has to do with like that, I kind of I get it. John Varlas basically yesterday, one of his tweets was like, I feel like going to the Pack would be like you're 48 years old and you get married to someone you don't truly
all
love.
your friends are married. You see everybody else
married. You see everybody,
Yeah.
and they got kids and stuff. You're like, I guess this is just what I'm supposed to do. And that kind of resonates with me because I'm old too, man. But I'm just like, like, is it a lateral move or is it just, if you look at the Pack right now, is it just going to always be the best non-power 5 if they move there? And will that probably be the only, the best it will ever be for Memphis?
Yeah, that's the question. But I think you have to do a little bit of foreshadowing. I predict that it's going to be better than that at some point. I know that's what it looks like right now. But again, I see that ACC Pac merger coming down the line, and I think that's what I'm looking at. And I think that puts you in a situation to where you're in something really good. I think that makes it multiple steps up. I think so. I think you have to kind of look at it in that vein. Right now, it might not look like. I still don't think I think it's better than a lateral move still, even right now. But I foreshadow in the future that it's going to be something better. And I think I just don't want to get left back, man, because I think those other schools are going to jump. Like Tulane, I don't think. Yeah, I think those schools are going to end up leaving. Even you look at some other schools, and I've heard some people talk. Even they might even look at a school like Rice over you because of the academics. Because we've played this game before, man, and we do the same thing with the Big 12, and we find out that they're Tulane, Rice, and all these other schools are ahead of us, and you're thinking you're right there, and according to reports, you weren't right there. So I don't believe that ACC thing is a surefire thing. A lot of people, the people that are against it, are like, oh, well, I'm just going to wait for the ACC. I don't necessarily think that's as guaranteed as a lot of people think. So I would have to take it, man. I understand the drawbacks, but for me, man, if you got the opportunity right in front of you, it's definitely a step up. Even right now, I think I got to do it, man.
Man, I kind of like that ACC Pac merger you're talking about. I mean, they
that's what I see happening because I don't buy the Florida State Clemson thing. Like there's a report come out later that they're kind of closer on negotiations that they might end up staying. I believe those teams are going to end up leaving in the end. I just don't see it. I think their relationship's too fractured. I don't know how they fix that. So that's what I see. I think you're going to see that coming down the line. If you're Memphis, you're already in that. You'll be in a good spot.
Man, what you got coming down the pipe? What y'all working on?
Yeah, there's a little bit of slow time at the off season, man. We haven't been doing much over there at Ethos Grizzlies, but definitely going to be coming up soon, man. Because we got training camp coming up here in a couple of weeks, media day and everything like that. So make sure you keep it locked at Ethos Grizzlies, TigerSportsReport.com, and my personal X feed at Isaac_NBA.
Isaac, man, be blessed and good luck this week with your Cowboys, and go Tigers, go, homie.
Yes, sir, man. Talk to you next week.
That is my buddy Isaac Simpson, man. I got to tell y'all something important, man. It's tailgating season. We've been talking about football, and if you want the ultimate tailgate package, all you have to do is go to 199 South Highland Street to Buster's Butcher. Register to win. You could win a Camo Ice Mule soft cooler. Like, what's a Camo Mule soft ice cooler? Well, it's soft, so you can kind of squish it up when it's got nothing in it. But then you open that junk up, and it's got all this room. You put your beers in them. Boom, 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 boom. Ice, bing, bang, ba-bam. Zip that joint up. Man, it keeps your beer ice cold. We also got 4 Yeti coasters. That's so when you take it out of the Camo Ice Mule soft cooler, you put it in your Yeti coaster. And then guess what? It keeps your hands warm and your beer ice cold. We're going to give you a $200 gift certificate. We're going to give you some Buster's branded swag. And the $200 gift certificate, you know what that's going for. The finest meats, cheeses, prepared foods in the city. And don't forget, when you go to Buster's Butcher at 199 South Highland Street, right next to their liquor store at Poplar and Highland, you go in there and you can talk to their skilled butchers. Because not only these skilled butchers, they're experienced chefs. And they'll be delighted to guide you on selecting, preparing, and cooking their fine selection of products. Check them out and come see why every cut counts at Buster's Butcher. Open 10 to 6 Monday through Saturday, 12 to 6 on Sunday. And you can learn more at bustersbutcher.com. We will draw the winner on October 10th. I'll announce the winner at 11 o'clock. Man, now you got me hungry. Don't forget to step next door, though, because they got a liquor store. And if you say you're not at Poplar and Highland area, you're leaving work, you got a quick stop, and you're going by Ridgeway Trace Shopping Center. Did you know they've opened up another liquor store at Ridgeway Trace Shopping Center, too? That's right. Buster's and Buster's Butcher. Back in Two Shake, Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Jason's Deli. When you're dining in or picking up curbside, you can expect wholesome food and no surprises. Just delicious sandwiches, crisp salads, and quick quality meals made with the freshest ingredients and no artificial trans fats, MSG, high fructose corn syrup, or artificial colors and dyes. Around here, a lot of thought goes into what we put into our food and what we take out of it. Because you're not just taking the bite, you're getting a taste of who we are. New items are constantly being created to expand our menu for all tastes and special diets, vegan and gluten-free options available, convenience, and on-time delivery you can count on. It's just a click away at jasonsdeli.com. So whether you need to feed 5 people or 5,000, the team at Jason's Deli, they have the credentials and the commitment to keep you satisfied. Freshness is nearby. At Jason's Deli, locations at Ridgeway and the Parkway Center, Upper Highland, Germantown Road in Cordova, and on Goodman Road in Olive Branch. Jason's Deli. It's wholesome food and no surprises.
Summer may be over, but yard work, it goes on. Don't worry, Colonial Hardware makes it easy for you. Colonial Hardware has all the lawn and garden tools you need from the best brands in the business. Ferris, Snapper, Husqvarna, Toro, Echo, Shindaiwa, and Billigo. Servicing most brands of lawn equipment, Colonial's master service techs will keep you going year-round. Colonial Hardware, family-owned and operated, and serving you for nearly 50 years. Next to Bass Pro and Lincoln at Sycamore View, and online at colonialhardwareinc.com.
Rick's Powder Coating for a beautiful finish every time. Rick's Powder Coating specializes in automotive, ornamental, residential, and industrial coating. With 2 conveyor lines and the largest batch ovens in the Mid-South, Rick's can accommodate all of your powder coating needs. Locally owned and operated since 2002, Rick's Powder Coating will customize a beautiful finish just for you. Drop by or call to see how Rick's Powder Coating can bring color to your life. 901-367-2771 or rickspowdercoating.com.
It's time to get your Kia on at Gossett Kia on the bike with 41 MPG and new 2024 Kia Forte LXS $199 a month, $37.99 due at signing. 2025 Kia Sportage $269 a month, $34.99 due at signing. And 2024 Kia Telluride S $359 a month, $39.99 due at signing. And 0% for 72 months on 2024 Kia EV9 Lite available. Plus, you always get peace of mind with Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Call Bobby J. He's ready to put you in your new Kia today. That's Gossett Kia 1900 Covington Pike or online KiaCovingtonPike.com. If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
50 acquisition fee, $20,000 per year, 20 cents excess mileage, Forte RE794, 626, MSRP 21,820, Telluride RG453, 666, MSRP 39,835, Sportage S73, 40278, MSRP 29,135, includes all rebates and incentives, PF 695, includes TT&L, must finance through Hyundai with approved credit, valid through 9/30/24, dealer stock only.
If you own a business, you know Luttrell Belting keeps you moving. Luttrell has cost-effective belts, conveyor components, and 24/7 on-site service to keep you operating smoothly. Text are just a phone call away at 800-441-8946 or online at LuttrellBelting.com. Luttrell's Memphis plant stocks belting in nearly every size and finish, and if they don't have it, they'll make it. From ordering to selection, fabrication, and installation, your Luttrell sales rep is there for you. Luttrell Belting keeps you moving.
56, WHBQ Memphis and W253DF Memphis with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy. Weekday mornings from 7 to 10.
That is one of those things. When things get too heavy, just call me helium.
Now, back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little bit of Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. Happy Thirsty Thursday. You know, on a Thirsty Thursday, I'm thinking Tito's. It's the vodka for dog lovers, number one. And if you don't love dogs, I'm worried about you because dogs are man's best friend. No matter how bad you are in this world or whatever you do wrong, you go home, your dog's still going to love you. And that's kind of how I feel about Tito's. No matter how bad I've been or whatever I did wrong, whenever I go home, Tito's loves me too. It's the best vodka in the world, period. It Rocky Balboa Drago, like Stoli and all those like Russian vodkas, straight up smacked them in the face because they have no frills, no flavors, no fancy labels. It's just the good stuff. It's Tito's handmade vodka. Remember, it's crafted and distilled United States, down in Austin, Texas. 6 times distilled before they still it in classic copper pots. Small batches. Gives it a very unique flavor, slightly sweet with that black pepper note. It balances everything out, whether you're crafting a cocktail or drinking it neat. Get your Tito's on today. Now, Mr. Dacus, I am ready to give you a little bit of college bets, NFL bets. I'm sticking with college right now during this segment because I'm going to talk a little college football. Y'all already know my affinity for the Tennessee game. Right now, that line is at 7. Did you know I looked this up? The earliest, I got it minus 4.5 a couple weeks ago? Or like 3 weeks ago. So I'm feeling really good about that one. Heck, it went all the way up to 9 at one point because Tennessee is like right now the flavor of the damn month. I don't know if anybody has thought like the orange has been the sexiest color, the sexiest team. I love what Ole Miss has done. And again, Tennessee ain't really played great. Like anybody that was special. Golden Flash ain't special. NC State hasn't been good. But damn, going out there and completing 24 passes against air, going out there and just running down people's throats, going out there and being savage and kicking an onside kick when you're up 31. Like Josh Heupel has been savage. And if you don't think that he's ready to be savage this week, first time he's taken this Knoxville team back to Oklahoma where he got them their last national championship in 2020. Got a Heisman Trophy. And remember, was fired in 2014 by Big Game Bob as the offensive coordinator. I bet he wants to go out there, and I said it already, he's going to hang up 500. Tennessee rolls. That's my favorite bet of the weekend. But this is a little Tennessee two-stepping because I also like Memphis against 9.5 against Navy. Like, what are people saying that they're going to have? Oh, man, going to Annapolis is going to be really tough. They were just down in Tallahassee, homie. They got a horse. An Indian who's a real one, and he spikes the damn, what do they call that thing?
A spear?
A spear.
Yeah.
He spears the damn field. Now, the team wasn't all that great, and yeah, the fans are going, oh. But Memphis didn't even give him a chance to do it because it was a dominant performance. I'm only going to have to lay 9.5 points to go to Navy? I'm taking that. I'm sorry. I know Navy's scrappy and they can run and it's a different game. Some people could say there's going to be a letdown. Have you been watching the Memphis Twitter by any chance? And seeing those hype videos?
Yeah.
Right now, whoever's doing the videos over at Memphis right now is so on point, it's not even funny. I'm watching those bad boys and I'm ready to run through a wall. I'm drinking the purple Kool-Aid, blue Kool-Aid. I was thinking purple church, my bad. I'm drinking the tiger blue Kool-Aid. And I'm loving them against Navy. I mean, this is just terrible. I mean, this is crazy to me. I think they're giving away money here. The other one that I really, really, really like, Syracuse, get the bleep out of here. They're at only an 8.5-point favorite over Stanford, who's got to fly to upstate New York, 5-hour flight, to go get whipped and lit up by Kyle McCord, who, by the way, if you looked at his numbers, 735 yards passing, 8 touchdowns already in just 2 games. Yeah, give me some of that. I'm sorry. That one, those are the crazy games that have been sticking out for me. And then this one, Arkansas and Auburn. I keep looking at this one, and I know Hank Brown looked pretty good. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But it was... Like, who was it again they played? I can't remember. They were pathetic.
Who?
Auburn. Who did they play last week?
New Mexico. They covered, though. New Mexico did.
New Mexico did cover. And remember, good teams win, great teams cover.
Devin Dampier. Didn't have his best game, but hey, did enough.
Did enough. But, man, over in Arkansas, like, again, Hank Brown, cool. Taylor Green is that dude, don't you think?
Mm-hmm.
Like, damn. And he's with Bobby Petrino. And I don't know if you know this. You might not like Bobby. I think Bobby's kind of cool, man. He's hilarious, dude. I mean, who gives you, like, pressers with neck braces and red noses? That was fun stuff. Who can, and again, remember, you can always go back home. Bobby left. Bobby came back. And I think Bobby's got it right with Taylor Green. And I only have to lay right now currently 3.5. I just don't think Auburn's any good. Do you?
No.
Like, I mean, I'm serious. Like, this is just it's crazy that Hugh Freeze is got a bad offense.
I like this quarterback that they switched to last week, but I do think that in a game like this, he could be more because he made some mistakes against New Mexico. And New Mexico's defense, I've watched every New Mexico game this year. Their defense is pathetic. It's awful. They've got a fine offense. Defense is terrible. I think when you get into SEC play in a game like this, even though Arkansas isn't world beaters, I could see Hank Brown, I think's his name.
Yep, Hank Brown.
I could see him making more mistakes that Arkansas can capitalize. And we've seen this Arkansas offense has looked really good all season long. So I kind of like Arkansas. I think you can get them plus 3.5. I kind of like that because I think this game's. Everyone's saying back and forth.
I thought
don't know
Arkansas
where to sit.
was favored by 3.
No. I believe Auburn's favored.
Auburn's favored.
Let me
by
double
3.
check.
You know what? I bet I just jotted it down wrong.
I'm gonna double check real quick. But I believe Arkansas is the underdog.
A little bit of lettuce. Taking terrible notes. If y'all ever saw my penmanship, it's hard that
But hey, maybe I'm the one that's got it flip flop, John.
I kind of would. Let's see.
Yeah, Auburn's a 3-point favorite.
I would trust you.
Yeah, I didn't want to say it, John, but I felt pretty confident that I was.
Yeah,
right.
I could tell actually when you said it. I was like, oh, I'm definitely. I jotted this one down wrong. And then this is also this is a Bill Brasky special right here. How you not take Ole Miss minus 22.5 in the first half? Georgia Southern is not any good.
No, and it's very clear. Like Lane Kiffin. Whether it's
brutal,
whether it's he just wants to run it up on everybody to put them in a good spot for the playoffs, whether it's he just wants his team firing on all cylinders with confidence.
He wants his quarterback in New York to be at the Heisman.
He wants his quarterback in a good spot for Heisman even before conference play starts. He is not afraid to run it up, and he'll run it up against anybody. So, yeah, that might not be a bad bet. John, here's a question for you, and kind of getting away from the big games over the weekend. Tonight, we've got one college football game. I know all eyes are going to be on the NFL, but we have one college football game tonight. And I don't know, what do you do with this game? South Alabama
against
just put
App
up
State.
85 points or whatever. They scored 87, whatever it ended up being, against an FCS school, going up against App State that got their doors blown in a couple of weeks ago against Clemson. Right now, App State, a 7-point favorite. I don't know what to do with this game. Maybe you don't bet it. Maybe that's the answer.
Damn, dude. They put up 87 against who?
It was against the FCS school.
Okay.
I
thought you said Northwestern or something.
Northwestern State.
Oh, okay. Thank you. There's a state in there.
Yes, there's a state in there. Yeah.
Northwestern Community College.
Correct. It was 87-10. That was last week, September 12th. It was last Thursday. It got so bad that they played. And I told you about this last Friday. It got so bad, John, that they decided the fourth quarter they were just going to play a 6-minute quarter. Why run it up? Let's just play 6 minutes.
Are you
being
serious? That's
I'm
right.
Dead serious.
I forgot.
I had because some idiots. I don't even know who they were. I saw them on Twitter. Were like, "Hey, Northwestern State plus 38 is the play tonight. You gotta play this. Nobody's gonna be watching this game. Nobody's betting on this game. Great value." And so I was like, you know what? I can watch both the NFL game and the college football game. I think there was another college football game that night as well. So they were like, the college fans are gonna be betting on that game. So I bet on it. I looked at the score. It was like 50-0 at halftime. I was like, oh, yeah, this is I'm an idiot. And then because they played a 6-minute fourth quarter, all the bets got voided.
Are you serious?
Because it wasn't a full 60-minute game.
If I had Alabama State minus the points and it was 87 South Alabama,
Yeah.
whatever it is.
Well, now here's so I ended up listening to a
I'd
podcast.
have been so mad.
Well, I ended up listening to a podcast the next day, and they were talking about it. And one of them said that they heard or they read, or maybe it happened to them, that what like the bigger books like DraftKings and FanDuel and stuff like that, if you bet on South Alabama, you got the win. If you bet against South Alabama, you just got it voided. So if you were like, yeah, I'm taking South Alabama minus 35, and you at halftime sat back and was like, oh, easy money, you still got paid out for
You were
that,
dancing.
supposedly. I don't know that for a fact. I just know I bet the other side, and I got voided, and I was very happy that night.
Yeah, that would make me very happy. That would definitely give me some joy. Damn, man. That's one of them games.
Wow,
bro.
John. I know you're not a golf person, but we do have some big-time golf news that just broke.
Does it have to do with the live?
It does. You must have seen this.
No, the only thing I saw was I did hear that somebody, and again, they're probably a big, important golf person that I have no idea. I mean, if Paige Springett says it, I promise you I'm going to know about it because she's my golf influence. Check her out if you haven't. I'm telling you, check
so
her out.
I just saw this.
Wait, hold on. Is it about like people paying a penalty to come back to the PGA Tour, leaving the live?
No, this is actually them gaining eligibility for a couple things. PGA of America grants live players the eligibility to compete in the PGA Championship and to be on the U.S. Ryder Cup team. That's big. That's massive.
So, explain that to me, because the Ryder Cup, that's where they play as a team and they do it, right?
Right. Yeah, the Ryder Cup. You've got a USA team, you have a European team, and so for a while.
Damn, I'm not a big golf guy. Can you tell?
Yeah, I mean it's okay.
I love that. I love what we do here at the FedEx St. Jude Championship over,
Absolutely.
Especially for St. Jude.
100%. So guys have not been able to play in the PGA Championship because of PGA of America was like, go on somewhere. And they also have not been able to play in the Ryder Cup. And so
both of those are now open for live players.
Right. So now they.
How mad are PGA Tour players? Is Roy McIlroy and all them guys right now just all furious?
That's a good question.
Rory
here's
or whatever his
the
name is. Did I
statement
say
from
Roy?
I don't know what you said. Here's a statement from PGA of America: to ensure the PGA Championship will continue to deliver the strongest field in golf, and that the U.S. Ryder Cup team will continue to have access to the best American players, the PGA of America board has determined that live golf players will be eligible for both. Going forward, all live golf players are eligible for the PGA Championship, and any American player who qualifies for the Ryder Cup on points or is added to the U.S. team as a captain's pick is eligible to compete. This is consistent with live golf players competing in the PGA Championship the past 2 years. Brooke Koepka was a member of the U.S. Ryder Cup team last year. So there's been a lot of question on what was going to happen. Now we know those guys are going to be eligible.
Damn.
How about that?
Again, do these players still not like each other, or have they started
I
make
think
up?
they're fine with
they're
each other.
kissing and make up.
I think now time has gone by. I don't think anybody really cares anymore.
Now, one thing I do care about is, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I want to watch the Louisiana Monroe Texas game on Saturday.
Did you
7
see
o'clock?
What their defensive coordinator said
About no, I did not. You're talking about Louisiana Monroe?
Monroe, yeah.
I know that their special teams coordinator, is it the strength coach? Which one dates the pole assassin?
I didn't know he was at UL Monroe now.
No, Texas.
Texas, yeah.
Which one is it?
I think it's a special teams coordinator.
Golly, how crazy is that? He literally is dating a stripper that strips with a monkey.
Well, so the defensive coordinator,
Texas.
either this morning or yesterday, I saw it on Twitter this morning, did a press conference and was asked, hey, Arch Manning's likely going to start this weekend for Texas. How are you going to go about it? And he said, obviously, Arch Manning played down in Louisiana, and his answer was something like, yeah, we have a handful of guys on defense that played him in high school. We got a handful of guys on defense that beat him in high school. So we're, they're not really intimidated or scared by him or whatever his last name might be. We're going to be fine against him. I was like, all right, how about that?
That is hilarious. Do you want to hear something that's scary, though, about Arch Manning?
Sure. He can run.
Did you know how well he can run?
I didn't realize it until I saw it.
I almost had an accident.
Did I give you my stats?
But luckily, I was wearing Depends.
Did I give you my stats about Arch Manning's run?
No, you didn't, but I got them right here. I think.
Oh, okay.
Is it the comparison to Tyreek Hill's top speed this year?
Yeah, I do have that number.
Oh, you got more than that? Then let me give one number.
Please.
This one, when I saw this, Tyreek Hill's top speed this entire season is 20.3 miles per hour. That's according to StatCast. Arch Manning against Texas San Antonio, 20.7 miles per hour. My man is throwing the ball like Eli and Peyton and running the ball like Tyreek Hill. Damn, son.
How about this? He would be the 13th fastest player this season in the NFL. 13th.
No way.
It's incredible. Top 15 player.
And remember Xavier Worthy, first touch he
He's
took off for
one,
a touchdown. Yeah, man, that was electric speed coming out of there.
Incredible. My other stat that I found, so his touchdown run, what was it, 67 yards or something like that? So Peyton's longest NFL run was 33 yards, which is hard to believe that he got out and scampered for 33 yards. Eli's was 23. So that means Arch's touchdown run was longer. His lone touchdown run was longer than Peyton Manning's longest NFL run and Eli Manning's longest NFL run combined. So he, in one run, just one time, he already has combined longer than his two uncles. That's crazy.
Unbelievable.
So I think the athleticism might have skipped a generation.
Dude. Like, that's just crazy how but Arch was a runner, too. You know, Archie.
Oh, yeah,
not
Archie.
the
That's what I'm
original.
saying. Like, I think it skipped a generation.
Because
or maybe it just stayed with Cooper. Cooper got injured.
And then Cooper has the baby.
Exactly.
He's got the better legs.
Right down that lineage. I don't know.
Another guy, Ole Miss, Mr. Cooper. By the way, speaking of the Mannings, I got one other little note for you.
Okay.
Did you know that, I think it was, last night? Was it yesterday that the NFL, the Hall of Fame class of 2025 nominees were revealed?
Mm-hmm.
So it was like 167 players have been dropped, and there's 16 first-timers on this list. Do you know who one of them happens to be?
Eli Manning.
That is right, bro. Eli Manning. You know what's so crazy? Did you know that I liked Peyton always, but until my daughters went to Ole Miss, I really wasn't the biggest Eli fan.
Really?
Yeah, because you know how much money he cost me when David Tyree pinned that ball against the helmet? I almost cried. In fact, I probably did cry. It's one of this. See, I cry like when I lose money and when I break my ribs. But that one was painful. But now, of course, now being a big Ole Miss fan, I absolutely love him, and he's a 2-time Super Bowl winner. But I don't think he's going to, by any chance, get in on the first time. Other first-year nominees include Marshawn Lynch.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see Darren Sproles on that bad boy?
Mm-hmm.
Demarius Thomas. Do you remember D. Thomas over in Denver, baby?
Mm-hmm.
Vernon Davis. The only VD that I ever wanted was Vernon Davis on my fantasy team.
Mm-hmm.
And Luke Kuechly. Of course, he's doing dude was a sick linebacker, wasn't he? And then speaking of sick linebackers, Terrell Suggs. And you got Aqib Talib. By the way, Adam Vinatieri's going to be in that joint.
That's right, yeah.
We don't get a lot of kickers up in the Hall of Fame. Was there like 3 of them?
I think so.
And then Earl Thomas, little Seattle linebacker. So a lot of really good first-time dudes out there. So it's a long time before we're going to find out the 2025. But we were talking about Arch, and it had me actually thinking to myself, damn, is he really going to end up being like Eli and Peyton but better? Because that's kind of scary. I will say at the beginning of the year I saw the NIL valuations. Have you seen them? Okay, so number one, by the way, if you didn't know, I'll give you the top 10 real quick because it has to do with Arch. Number one was Shedeur Sanders. He was making $5.1 million for Colorado. That's the number one. Livy Dunn's number 2 at $4 million at LSU, which is also is amazing. Like, and Paul Skeens is awesome. Like, Livy Dunn and Paul Skeens are just living their best life. Travis Hunter, number 3 at $3.1 million. Seems like they need to spread that money out a little bit because the only 2 good players, it seems like, is Shedeur and Travis Hunter right now. But Arch Manning was number 4. He's making $3.1 million in NIL. This is the weird one. Guess who number 5 is?
I have no idea.
Quinn Ewers.
Really?
Who was the starting who is the starting quarterback still when he comes back healthy, probably, making $2.2 million. And then you have Jalen Milroe, Jackson Dart, Cam Ward, Carson Beck, and Nico Iamaleava. That's your top 10. But when I saw Arch was making almost $1 million more than Quinn Ewers, I was like, damn, that would maybe make you a little bit jealous. But I don't think it makes him jealous because Quinn Ewers must have seen this kid in practice.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know he had that kind of speed. That's pretty crazy. Sark's got him a squad down there at Texas. We are going to take a quick time out. I do want to remind you, Hardenwood is on the other side because it feels so good. You know what else feels good? Getting rid of your house. Easy, quickly. And I got the solution for you. Because if you need to sell your house, all you have to do is call 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Call my buddy Bill at I Buy Houses. Bing, bang, boom. I just sold your house. It's any house, any area, as is. And it's really as simple as that. Any house, any area, as is. Just call 901-406-1101. My buddy Bill at I Buy Houses, guaranteed to close in 5 days. Don't you dare touch the dial. Hardenwood on the other side. Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
We are real sports talk. Sports 56 WHBQ. Available on your radio dial at 560 AM and 98.5 FM, as well as around the world online at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere by downloading the Sports 56 app. And at home, just say, Alexa, play Sports 56. Wherever you are, stay tuned in to real sports talk. Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
The 2025 Range Rover Sport sits right at the heart of the Land Rover lineup, offering a perfect mix of style, performance, and versatility. Smaller and more agile than a full-size Range Rover, it's a great option for everyone who wants luxury and practicality. Every model comes with 8-speed automatic transmission and all-wheel drive standard. Whether you navigate city streets or tackle rough terrain, Range Rover Sport has you covered. Every drive is powerful and breathtaking. The 2025 Range Rover Sport is the epitome of sporty luxury. Test drive one at Jaguar Land Rover Bluff City.
Looking for a high-efficiency planting solution? The Case IH 2150 Early Riser Planter combines the industry's most accurate planter technologies with a rugged row unit for fast and uniform emergence. The Case IH 2150 Early Riser operates at your speed and adapts to unique field conditions so you can maximize your yield potential. Stop in or call Mid-South Ag Equipment at 662-890-3141 to learn more. That's Mid-South Ag, your Case IH equipment headquarters.
Family Leisure is having the world's biggest spa set. It's happening right now. You can save thousands on in-stock hot tubs that are ready to be delivered. Family Leisure has spas that start at just $28.99. You know those cold plunges? You can get one for yourself starting at $39.99. Or how about swim spas? They start at $17,499. Plus, Family Leisure has set up special financing just for this event. Have you been sitting on the fence about an above-ground pool? Get off that fence and get to Family Leisure to take advantage of huge discounts on all their in-stock above-ground pools. And if you need some patio furniture, it's all priced to move out now. It's not too late to have some summer fun, courtesy of Family Leisure. But you better hurry up. The world's biggest spa sale might go on forever. Family Leisure. With and run at I-40. Family and fun come together.
Your house slash your office building? Possible. Not called Wilson's Pro Wash. Your house, fence, driveway, warehouse, store, hotel, even cars and trucks can all be squeaky clean and beautiful after pressure washing by Wilson's Pro Wash. Wilson's specializes in cleaning all hard surfaces, concrete, stone, brick, and mortar, even wood and vinyl siding. Then Wilson's can seal their surfaces so they stay looking brand new. Call Wilson's Pro Wash. 1-524-6799 or online at wilsonsprowash.com.
Sales into the still going strong at Gossett Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Fiat on the bike, and I've got Rock and Ronnie ready to make your day.
Check this out, Randy. New 2023 Dodge Charger FXD, $27,499, over $10,000 off MSRP.
Ronnie, what about Renegade?
New 2023 Jeep Renegade, $27,499 or $319 a month.
Hey, Ronnie, tell them about that deal on Gladiator.
2024 Jeep Gladiator, over $7,000 off and 0% for 36 months available.
Don't forget about that Ram truck deal.
2025 Ram Traceman, over $6,000 off MSRP.
Rock and Ronnie says drive past the rest and come to the best at Gossett Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Fiat on the bike. Online at GossettMotorCars.net.
Listen each and every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. and join Ottawa Presbyterian Church for worship. Ottawa is an ACUSA church located in town Memphis.
4.9 meter V8, 0 to 60, and I'm about to find out.
Now, back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. It's a thirsty Thursday. We got football tonight. Patriots at the Jets. Jets are 6.5-point favorites currently over the Patriots. Total's only 38.5 is a low one. Kind of leaning under. Scared of this game, honestly. I don't know who the Jets really are. The Titans aren't any good. Will Levis is terrible. They beat them, but not very convincing. Patriots, though, have looked really good, and you're going to give them 6 points when they beat the Bengals, and then they lost in overtime to the Seahawks. It's just like that line just looks funny. But, man, as many dogs came in last weekend, like, man, you got to think some favorites in the National Football League are going to start covering. This one just looks a little bit weird, but we're going to do some fun. I've got a story that's just absolutely crazy, like really crazy. It has to do with a little fantasy football. And, you know, like you get really mad when you get in arguments over fantasy football. Like, what do you mean he's not eligible? What do you mean this? Or his point system, it didn't grade it right.
Oh, my gripe I have against fantasy football is when a guy is out, but for whatever reason, you can only put guys on the IR in your league when they're actually on the IR in real life. So now I got to drop somebody because Cooper Kupp, they're telling me he's going to be out for maybe 3, 4, 5 weeks, but they haven't put him on the IR yet.
Ooh,
Ridiculous.
That is frustrating. I can feel the frustration in your voice.
Yeah, I am frustrated.
But you would never do what this guy did. I can promise you that. At least I believe. I'm a good judge of character. Like, I did hire you because I believed in you, right?
Yeah, well, yeah. That might have been one of the reasons.
Like, or I just was like,
or you just needed
or I was
somebody.
like Bill Clinton who just ran out and was like, and just points over at Monica's like, here, come on in here. I got a few minutes. I got to get ready something. Wash that junk, please, woman, man. Now, we got to get back to a little bit of Hardwood because it feels so good. This is a crazy, crazy story. Also, a texter hit me up on the City Log Cabin text and listener line, 901-360-8255. Life's too short for ordinary jewelry. And asked me, is Eli Manning really a Hall of Famer, John? And listed a bunch of little notes and nuggets. I'll read those to you as well. But first, I got to tell you, how do we get to Hardwood? We do it through Rick's Powder Coating. If you want a beautiful finish every time, it's Rick's Powder Coating. They specialize in automotive, ornamental, residential, and industrial coating. They have 2 conveyor lines and the largest batch ovens in the Mid-South. Rick's can accommodate it all. And let me tell you something. They've been locally owned. They always locally owned. Since 2002, they've been doing this. Rick's Powder Coating. It's going to be a custom finish. It's going to be beautiful. Give them a call at 901-367-2771 or go to rickspowdercoating.com. Let's go to Hardwood.
This is Access Hardwood.
Before I get to the wonderful, crazy, crazy story, just a little nugget from one of our listeners. John, is Eli really a Hall of Famer? He won 2 Super Bowls. But was he ever a top 5 quarterback in his career? He did make all 4 Pro Bowls in his 16. He made 4 Pro Bowls in 16 years, never finished in the top 10 in MVP voting. He said Eli was good, and of course he has the last name Manning. If anything, the last name will get him in. In 234 games, he's 117 and 117, so there's that. If Eli gets in, just call it the Hall of Really Good. Damn, bro. That's some Eli slander right there, ain't it? But they're really, really kind of crazy good numbers, aren't they? Like, it kind of makes you think. Like, I feel like I just got Jason Munz again, or Johnny Cochran, as I called it. My head's spinning. I mean, 2 Super Bowl wins, beat Tom Brady, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, man. What do y'all think? Y'all let me know at 901-360-8255, Sissy's Log Cabin text and listener line. Now it's time to talk about some insanity. I get upset. I had one of the biggest, rest in peace, Scal. I was in a fantasy baseball league. Me and this dude, I'm talking about, I typed the most vile things I've ever said about a human being. And we went back and forth and argued until our faces were blue. You know what I'm saying? Ended up making more bets and more bets and more bets and more bets, and ended up being a chunk. Put it this way, if my fantasy team didn't hold on to win, I might have been broke, bro. But luckily I held on, won by like 8 points. And the funny thing is, one of the things we were arguing about was like a 6-point swing. And you know what? He still would have lost. But it just made it that much more fun. But I would tell you one thing, Tim, who lost, I know I felt bad for him. He didn't do anything like this to get revenge on me. He gave me my money, and then when I saw him the next year at the draft, he gave me a big hug and was like, damn, bro, you are ruthless with your words sometimes. And I'm like, yeah, I'm sorry. I get a little emotional. This is not the kind of emotion that I have or would want anybody out there to have, because this is insane. A Philadelphia man. His name is Gabriel. He is not the angel, Gabriel, but he is definitely not an angel either. This dude's from Philadelphia, okay? So he is in a fantasy football league with, quote, his bros, right? And they get in a huge argument. So in 2023, my man goes on a, when you go to study abroad, he goes to Norway to study because he's a college dude. And he's in his fantasy football league that year. And he gets in another really ruthless argument with one of his homies. And guess what? His homie is coming out to also study abroad. Like, he got there a week before him. So they get in an argument while, he's still in America and then he's over here in Norway. So the day that he's coming to Norway, the dude calls up and says he's got credible information that this guy says his name, says he's going to arrive on this date, and says that he's planning a mass shooting at a concert. And it just throws in a bunch of just very, very scares. Says he's 5'7", gives his name, all these things. And he does this, by the way, on the 10th, 5 days before the guy's coming on the 15th. So the Department of United States and I don't know what they call the Norwegian law enforcement, but the Norwegian law enforcement teams and the FBI are talking to each other, and they're checking this if this is a credible threat, if he's going to go to Oslo and do a mass shooting. That is insane, is it not? That is taking it to a level that I just don't even understand. And how do you just sit around thinking to myself, you know what, this idiot's going to come out here when he lands, I'm going to make sure he gets arrested because he argued about fantasy football with me. That's terrible. So guess what happens? He does get in a little bit of trouble. They find out that it's not a credible threat. The guy, of course, got asked a bunch of questions, and they gave him kind of almost like you would say a warning because he was over in Norway, and I guess they just don't do much. But they that was wrong. Don't you ever do anything like that again. So this was, again, remember, in 2023, August of 2023. But do you think that getting warned by the FBI that falsifying allegations could be a crime and he could be arrested, and then threatening him and say that you could face up to 5 years in prison, don't ever do that again? And I understand he's a college kid. The FBI, he's in Norway, don't want to throw his life away for some stupid decision. But that was a very serious one. Well, you think he would have learned? Would you have learned a lesson if the FBI actually talked to you and said, hey, I don't know if you know this, but falsifying allegations like this could get you up to 5 years in prison. And he's like, okay, I won't ever do it again. Until the very next year, he is in another. In 2024, he gets in another argument over, guess what? Fantasy football. I mean, could you imagine if he was talking about serious stuff? I don't think this guy's right in the head. But so he gets in an argument with one of his buddies who goes to the University of Iowa. They get, again, a big old argument. What do you think he does to get back at the dude that's arguing with him and cussed him?
Interesting.
He calls it. No, he don't know. What does he do?
Oh, I don't know.
He calls, because the kid, remember, goes to Iowa.
Yeah,
he calls
right.
the Iowa Police Department and says, I just saw this in a group chat, and I just want to make sure everyone is safe and fine. I don't want anything bad to happen to anybody. A man named person one, the victim, from, I believe, Nebraska, sent this, and I want to make sure it's a joke and no one will get hurt. Well, the dude went in there and typed up, took a screenshot of some fake conversation somehow. I'm not sitting around figuring out how to catfish people or call in or get them arrested or whatever. My man Gabriel is, though. He put in all kinds of information, sent it to the University of Iowa Police Department, and my man's at school, and a bunch of cops come and arrest him. You know what I mean? Because they said he had a bomb on him. So he's called in a mass shooting in Oslo, and then he called in a bomb threat and said this guy was going to blow up a bunch of students. And this was just in 2024. Well, guess what? His trial started, and now he is, again, facing up to 5 years in prison because guess who's now being charged? He's being charged by the United States Justice Department. and they said that they are going for the full swing because he didn't do it once. He's done it twice, and he did it within 1 year. Like, is that the craziest fantasy football beef you've ever heard in your entire life? I would say so.
I think so.
I mean, that's taking things to a level, I don't understand. And then one other thing that I saw that was crazy today, doesn't really have much to do with sports, but man, everybody knows Justin Bieber, right?
Of course. Biebs.
The Biebs. Bro, you know, yesterday I got in a little bit of a hole yesterday, like the Twitter hole. And I was checking out all the Diddy stuff and all kinds of just BS. And all these deadgum videos of like a 14-year-old Justin Bieber with P. Diddy. Have you seen these?
Yeah.
And then, like, you know, then they show a picture of when he's 16. He's, like, scared to death to be left alone with him. But at 14, for some reason, he had a 48-hour, like, he was his guardian for 48 hours. And, like it was creepy talk. All I know is I'm so worried about the Biebs. Like, that was scary. P. Diddy in some serious trouble, bro. Did you know that they didn't let him out for, like, $50 million?
He got his bail denied twice.
Twice.
Not once, twice. Yeah,
And he was
you're
offered
guilty.
$50 million.
We all already knew that he was guilty. Like, I didn't need the bail to be denied for me to know that he was guilty.
Now, I also have another thing that I just don't understand what is wrong with you young people. Like, did you know Derek Carr, did you see his crotch grabbing celebration?
I don't think so.
You know the Saints when he was down in Big D, and after he threw another touchdown, he almost did the Michael Jackson, you know, woo-hoo, and then you grab your crotch.
I did see that.
It was hilarious.
You should have called it the Michael Jackson.
Well, but I'm just saying, okay, he don't dance like Michael Jackson.
I know, but I thought when I heard the crotch grab celebration, I was picturing something like sexual or something like that.
Here's the reason I said that, because there was a bunch of people who put out, and they didn't say Michael Jackson. It says, I can't believe Derek Carr's so classless that he would grab his crotch for the whole world to see. And that's when I say, what is wrong with you people? He's pulling the Michael Jackson, bro. Like, get on your crotches. Woo-hoo. I can't even go up there, man. You know what I'm saying? But I had to grab it when I did it. Oh, that was pretty good, bro.
Thank you.
I can't go that high. I mean, I get that high, but I can't go that high. You know what I mean. Edibles. Delicious. And then the other one I was going to tell you, and this is just the weirdest story. So, do you watch, you don't do a lot of podcasts, do you?
Yeah, I listen to a couple. I don't just go out and listen to them all the time, but I have a couple that I listen to.
Well, I was listening to a podcast last night, chilling, trying to do a little bit of good things for my body at the gym. Also get educated on sports so I'd know some things. And I don't even remember right now off the bat. I was looking through my notes, of course. I can't find it right here. But I'm listening to my man talk about, it's 3 retired NFL football players. I believe it was on Marshawn Lynch's. Deadgummit, Richard Sherman's podcast, I believe. Could be wrong. But they were talking about, the dumbest thing that you ever did. Here it is. It's on the Raw Room. My bad. It is not on his. So this dude goes, man, what's the dumbest thing you did? Pre-game, halftime. You ever done anything stupid during a preseason football game? And he's like, bro, yeah, man. He's like, I came to the game, and one of my buddies goes, hey, man, you think you're going to play today? And he goes, I don't think I'm going to play much. He's like, bro, you want to try one of these edibles? And he's like, man, I ain't never had no edibles. He's like, man, you smoked before? He's like, yeah, I smoked. And I was like, man, screw it. I probably ain't going to play. So he ate an edible. He says he doesn't play in the first half, but he says by halftime, he is so... Because, when you eat it, it's a different buzz than smoking it. Okay? Hey, do you know this, Dacus?
Okay.
If you've never probably... hang around with hippie lettuce, right?
I do not partake in it. I've known people in the past that partake in it.
Well, you just trust me. You don't want it. The first time you get into a little bit of bud, don't eat it because it's you can't. Again, you can't turn it off after you smoke it, but you can kind of tell your little buzz. It's a little bit lighter. It's not as heavy. he eats this, and he's never eaten an edible, and he said he is freaking out like during the halftime, and then somebody gets injured in the pregame, and they tell him he has to go in the second half. And he says that he is in a football game in a preseason, wondering what he's doing out there, couldn't understand anything, and just went and got in his position and just tried to do anything. That is really dumb. I don't know if you know this, but going and playing football on edibles is after a football game, maybe. Well, not maybe. I mean, if you want to eat one after a football game, it's no big deal. Did you know they don't even drug test for weed anymore in the NFL?
That's right.
How crazy is that? Josh Gordon got kicked out the damn league. Didn't get to make money because he smoked a little weed. Thank goodness they've changed this, but man, I feel bad for little Josh Gordon. But yeah, that is a little bit of news and notes and a little updates. I also wanted to tell you yesterday, I went over to Los Cabos. I don't know if you know this. I love Mexican food. I also like sports bars. I like watching the ESPN and all that good stuff in the afternoon, little Craney Company, listening to little Dacus and them. I went over to Los Cabos right there at Summer and Graham, and I experienced the best Mexican cuisine. I'm telling you, man, that's where the flavors of Mexico melt in your mouth. Plus, they have great lunch specials. They're every single day, 10 a.m. to 3. Like, they're open at 10 a.m. Lunch specials, 10 to 3. We're talking about $6.99 to $11.99. We got margaritas during happy hour, which is 3 to 8 every single day. Margaritas start at $3.99. Head on over where if you love sports, they got a big old bar. If you just want to sit down and chill and do a little Mexican because it's so delish, it's Los Cabos. The one I visit is always the one on Summer near Graham. We're going to take a quick time out, and we got to find out. I got to make a decision, man. I've been straddling the fence all day. I feel terrible. I can't make a decision. Like, my brain's not working. Patriots, Jets. Do we go under the 38.5? Do we go over? We going to go Patriots plus 6.5 for taking the Jets? I don't know. But I'll tell you on the other side when I figure it out during the break on Sports 56 98.5 FM.
Join the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin, for Wolo and Friends. Weekday mornings from 10 to 11 here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Is your wife asking you to stop eating junk food? Well, we have you covered at Humdingers. It's quick and it's healthy, and most important, it tastes amazing. With many choices from salmon salad to rainbow trout and grilled asparagus. Come visit us for lunch at Humdingers, 6300 Poplar Avenue. So good, Coach Penny eats with us weekly. Don't forget, Humdingers offers full-service catering for weddings, social events, or your corporate lunches. You can call 901-260-8292 to find out more.
To understand what makes Genesis Diamonds so different than other jewelry stores, you have to go back over 40 years to the diamond cutting capital of Tel Aviv, Israel. That's where Genesis owner Boaz Ramon grew up, in the center of the diamond universe. His connections with the best diamond cutters allowed him special access, giving rise to a thriving wholesale business here in the United States. Then, after a few years, this wholesaler changed the game and started selling these precious diamonds direct to the public at the same prices he had sold to the jewelry stores. The no middleman concept became an instant success. Today, Genesis Diamonds provides that extraordinary value to people right here in Middle Tennessee, leading the industry with the highest quality diamonds that still come straight from the best cutters, offered at the guaranteed best price of any jewelry store in America. Genesis Diamonds, a truly revolutionary concept with a unique history rooted in quality, committed to excellence, and always focused on value. Genesis Diamonds, luxury brand, Rolexes, and popular Morgans Extended.
Mitsubishi's final days of summer sales event is about to be gone, so you better hurry to Gossett Mitsubishi on the Pike. Get 42 MPG Highway and 2024 Mitsubishi Mirage, $17,930 or $299 a month. 2024 Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross, we Gossett at $27,245 or $349 a month. And get 420 total range MPGE and 2024 Outlander PHEV, $32,750 or $390 a month. Plus, you'll never go wrong with Mitsubishi's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Get to Gossett Mitsubishi today at 1870 Covington Pike and 24/7 at MemphisMitsubishi.com. That's Gossett Mitsubishi on the Pike.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
14,767, MSRP 18,430, Eclipse RZO 65,450, MSRP 28,745, PHEV RZO 66681, MSRP 42,750, includes all rebates and incentives, 1,095 acquisition fee, 25 cents per mile, excess wear and tear, includes all rebates and incentives, PF 695, excludes tax, title, and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through end of the month with approved credit dealer stock only.
Miami
Eagle here from Thursday Night Football on Westwood One. Join three-time Super Bowl champion Devin McCourty and me this week for the Patriots at the Jets. New England came up short last Sunday in an overtime loss to the Seahawks. Now they face their AFC East rival, the New York Jets, for the first time with Aaron Rodgers at quarterback. Don't miss it on Thursday Night Football.
Right here on Sports 56.
All right, gentlemen, this is Emmett Smith on behalf of Depend, and I've got the perfect plan. Run straight to your doctor's office for a life-changing gift, because when prostate cancer is caught early, it's up to 99% treatable, and one blood test might be all it takes. And now through November, Depend is donating to the Prostate Cancer Foundation for select purchases. Talk about a great plan.
From September 1st to November 30th, Depend is donating 30 cents to the Prostate Cancer Foundation for Depend Shield Yards real food products purchased in the U.S. up to a maximum of $200,000 awarded in Mississippi.
This is the story of the one. As a facility technician installing a new welding station, he knows getting the ventilation right is critical for safety. That's why when questions arise, there's Grainger. Grainger offers detailed technical product information online at his fingertips, so it's easy to find what he needs. Because when it comes to safety, having answers means he and his people can breathe a little easier. Call quickgrainger.com and just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Encore flavor, Corky's barbecue.
Hi, this is Jimmy Stovall with Corky's Barbecue. We're celebrating 40 years in Memphis since opening our doors in 1984, and we want to thank you, our loyal customers. Our new Barbecue Nachos Party Pack will be the hit of your party or tailgate. For only $40, Corky's makes it easy for you to feed 6 to 8 hungry barbecue fans our legendary barbecue nachos, loaded with our signature cheese dip, smoky barbecue, and all the toppings. Drive-through or takeout at any of our 4 Memphis area locations.
Encore flavor, Corky's barbecue.
But you gotta be willing to take the hit and not pointing fingers saying you ain't where you wanna be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards do that and that ain't you. You're better than that.
Now back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio, and again, I'm going to tell you tonight it's Patriots and the Jets. You can hear it on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM starting at 7 p.m. with a little pregame action. This game, just the line says take Aaron Rodgers and the Jets and hold your nose, but because he hadn't looked great. Patriots been covering machines. You're going to give them 6.5 when the total's only 38.5. This one's like the line says Jets. But logic says Patriots. Maybe you don't bet tonight. Maybe you just take your money and go to Frontier Western Store. You know what I mean? 5880 Goodman Road down in Olive Branch. Head on in there and you can get all the jeans you need for fall because they have all men's section. They got Ariat all the way to Wrangler, bro, and everything in between. They got a ladies' boutique, a children's department, and the largest boot showroom on planet Earth. Frontier Western Store. And if you can't get to 5880 Goodman Road in Olive Branch, you can always get online at frontierwesternstore.com. They ship their order within 24 hours. It's easy to navigate. It's all right there. You can shop by brand, men's, women's, kids. Sale items is easy peasy. Frontier Western Store and frontierwesternstore.com. Again, tonight's game, I just can't even imagine the Patriots not covering. But the line says take the Jets. I hope I'm not wrong. Get out there. Make the road a better place. We'll see you on the flip side. Peace.
Need good food fast? You need 901 Eats to Go in Bartlett. Meat in 2 sides. Chicken wings and tenders, cheeseburger, Philly cheesesteak, even catfish. Plus